You called it, right? When you
Yeah.
saw all of those other drones out in the air and they were flying at, I mean, when I talk about relatively low altitudes, we're talking about low altitudes for what these drones are capable of, right? These
Yeah.
things are in the air at 40,000 feet. You said, wait and see, something is coming. I just remember a sit rep that you did, I want to say it was like 2.5 weeks ago,
Yeah.
where you didn't even look like you were intending to talk about these drones that were in the air. Yet
Right.
when you went over to the Black Sea area, you identified them and you said, "Stand by, everybody. We're headed for some problems. We're here. We're
We
there,
are.
and we're poking the bear."
Oh, yeah. In my last sit rep, I was talking about the fact that the NATO countries are out there now starting to openly say, hey, we don't have enough weaponry. We've given it all to Ukraine. We're dangerously low. England even said, hey, we are too small to take on a Russia or a China. We don't have the military force to conduct anything like that. So they're even waffling about backing out of Ukraine. So this is going to be very interesting because the UK and Germany, the two that are the loudest right now about their lack of supply or the lack of ability to fight a war, are both starting to waffle, and they're number 2 and 3 when it comes to the NATO side. So we could be seeing the early signs of a NATO collapse before anything even kicks off here.
I agree with you. I think NATO started splintering the very second Belarus stood united with Russia prior to Russia even going into Ukraine. I already think that there was a lot of that happening, and the leader of the French started that process, started accelerating that process when he lit the match in the first set of talks that he wanted to hold in Poland. So I think we're not in good shape as it relates to that. So let me ask you this, bro. Okay, so
Yeah.
considering now we have an incident, right?
Mhm.
I get sick every time I hear Millie talking. He just drives me crazy.
Yeah, he's a traitor. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I mean, we should just call him General Treason. That's what
Yeah.
we should call him. But anyway, when he now gets up before the American people in a DOD press conference and
Right.
says that we are not looking at what happened between Russia and our Reaper as an act of aggression. This is not an item that is worthy of starting a war, and we're not looking at starting a war, even
Yeah.
though we're already in a full-blown war.
Yeah. Proxy war.
Bro,
Yeah.
what do you say about this?
Yeah. You know what? You have to back up and remember that before Zelensky was in play, the U.S. took out one of the presidents that was sitting there in order to put Zelensky in because their entire operation was at risk. So go back to 1948, go back to the point of us having agencies in there, us having, the labs and all the other stuff. When you've got a pro-Russian president sitting in Ukraine, your weaponry, your programs are all at risk, right? So they made a big maneuver, got him ousted, put Zelensky in, who's been a puppet, but you got to look at the region, everything. I mean, look at Luxembourg. Luxembourg is the number one money laundering country in the world. You've got Belarus, the number one human trafficking country in the world. The whole area and the whole region is corrupt. So us having, the CIA in there and everybody else is not surprising. But I think we've put ourselves into a position where we are going to have to, it's going to be fight or flight, right? We're going to
Yeah,
have to go. We're going to have to go in all in. And if the other countries start backing out, we're going to be by ourselves.
yeah,
And
100%.
and then it's going to be very obvious we have no business being in Europe, right? If NATO's disband or the NATO countries start to back away, and the U.S. is the only one left with a dog in a fight, it's going to be very obvious that we're picking a fight that we have no business being there.